What is good, Raider Nation? It's your boy Raider Alex back with yet another video for you guys. Anybody that's new to the channel, you guys love Raider related content just like this, make sure to like, comment, subscribe to the channel. That being said, let's jump right into the topic of this video with the Raiders concluding their first preseason matchup yesterday. Today I wanted to jump into the all 22 film and analyze Aiden O'Connell's performance at quarterback and also Gardner Minshew's performance as well. Can I identify what they did good, what they did bad, and give my overall thoughts on who I thought did better in this matchup, and ultimately how that could affect the quarterback position on who's going to be the starter come week 1. Aiden O'Connell went 7 of 9 for 76 passing yards, 0 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, while Gardner Minshew went 6 of 12, 117 yards, 1 touchdown pass, 0 interceptions. But without further ado, let's jump right into the tape. Now, Aiden O'Connell started off the game, the first drive, and here we got the first pass of the day for Aiden O'Connell on the Raiders offense. And here the Minnesota Vikings are going to drop into a cover 2 zone. And here Aiden O'Connell is going to make the right read and hit the open man with Michael Mayer across the middle to move the chains. Good play. Here we're going to get some 12 personnel action for the Raiders, and the Vikings are going to show a cover 3 look. And Aiden O'Connell has a nice clean pocket, and here he's able to find Jakobi Meyers on this dig route across the middle with good ball placement. Overall, great protection up front from the offensive line due to us having 7 pass blockers. And Aiden O'Connell here just able to make the throw. Nice delivery, good execution overall from the offense. Here in the shotgun formation, we're going to get another nice throw and execution from Aiden O'Connell. The Vikings show a man-to-man look, and we got Aiden O'Connell going through his reads. Starts from one side of the field to Michael Mayer, and eventually goes all the way to the other side, going through his progressions, and eventually hits Jakobi Meyers. I like his ability to climb the pocket as well, as his defensive tackle is able to get some push on the inside of the offensive line. Starts to break down the pocket a little bit, but O'Connell's able to avoid this. Steps up, keeps his eyes down the field, and once again, solid ball placement to move the chains once again. Under center here, and we got some play action with Brock Bowers in the backfield, and here's going to go out into the flat for the quick pass, and O'Connell's going to just barely get this pass off as our left tackle, Andres Pete, gets beat off the edge, and he takes a shot right here. Here, out of the shotgun formation, we're going to have Trey Tucker going in on this corner route, and with Jakobi Meyers going to the inside on a slant. The Vikings are showing man-to-man coverage pre-snap, and typically this would have resulted in Trey Tucker getting wide open if his man would have followed him, but the defensive backs were very prepared for this, and they switched on their concept. They switched mans, and this led to them being in a great position to defend this. You can also see Aiden O'Connell's already in his throwing motion before you can really clearly see that they're going on the switch. So I really think he expected the defensive back to follow Trey Tucker, and if so, that would have been an easy touchdown. But really not a great play overall. Tucker didn't really have a chance at this at all. And even if he did, I mean, I don't necessarily love the idea of throwing it up to a smaller wide receiver and Trey Tucker on a contested catch like this. Now, had Aiden O'Connell been aware of that switch prior to throwing the football, he may have instead tried to target Jakobi Meyers underneath instead. But not a great play overall right here. Inside the red zone, 3rd and goal here, and it looks like Minnesota is going to run man-to-man coverage pre-snap. And really the elephant in this room after you let this play completely go through is that our left tackle, Andres Pete, gets beat off the edge by Miles Turner once again. But I also don't love how Aiden O'Connell had his body position all the way to the right-hand side, essentially only targeting and analyzing one side of the field. Nobody's open, and instead of trying to step up in the pocket to try to avoid this pressure on the left-hand side, on his backside, he instead goes backwards and he takes the sack. And to be honest, judging by how he moves backwards, it really seems like he didn't even feel or recognize the pressure on the left-hand side. But if the rusher didn't get there, it was still going to be pretty difficult to make anything happen, especially just isolating one side of the field. But overall, I just didn't love the pocket presence here and the awareness from O'Connell right here. And it leads to us settling for a field goal inside the red zone. Now we got Gardner Minshew out of the shotgun at quarterback, and the defensive lineman jumps early pre-snap, and Gardner Minshew is able to recognize this, and he takes a deep shot down the field. The Vikings blitz off the edge and run zone coverage, and Gardner Minshew is able to hit Trey Tucker across the middle. Now, I would have liked the ball placement to be a little bit better right here. I would have liked this throw to have gone to Trey Tucker's opposite shoulder instead of having him having to turn his body to come down with the grab. But overall, a nice chunk play from Minshew right here. He's able to take advantage of the defensive lineman moving early and gets a big play for this Raiders offense. Under center here, and the Raiders are going to get a drag concept across the middle against man-to-man coverage with Wilkerson. And this is the right look. He has a clear step on his man, but Gardner Minshew is erratic with this throw. This pass is thrown way too high, and it leads to an incomplete pass. He's got to clean up this. I mean, he can't miss simple throws like this one. Shotgun formation once again, and here, right guard Dylan Parham is going to get beat with a spin move on the inside, and Minshew is able to recognize the pressure. The pocket begins to break down a little bit, and he's able to find an open lane and uses his legs to run for a first down. Now, look, this is a big advantage for Gardner Minshew compared to Aiden O'Connell. He can use his legs to make plays happen, and I think Gardner Minshew, if he wants to win this job, he needs to showcase his ability to use his legs if he wants to win this job. But overall, nice play right here. Under center once again, and we got Trey Tucker going in motion. The defensive back follows him, which indicates it will very likely be man-to-man coverage pre-snap. And we got a play action pass, and DJ Turner is running on a crosser route, and he's able to beat the slot cornerback, and Gardner Minshew is able to hit him right in stride. Great ball placement for the touchdown. And also, if we look at this right here on this angle, he also did this with a defender getting pressure right in his face, but he stood tall, got the throw off, took a hit on this one, but is able to make the throw for the touchdown. Great stuff. Play action pass, and the Vikings show a cover 2 zone look, and Gardner Minshew initially has a clean pocket, but nobody's open down the field, and the pressure starts to get there, and Minshew is able to use his legs to roll out and escape the pressure. He keeps his eyes down the field. It turns into a scramble drill, but ultimately this leads just to an incomplete pass. He throws it to the feet of the running back. Not a great play, but look, I prefer plays like this than our quarterback taking sacks. This is the nice thing of having mobility at the quarterback position, because taking big sacks in the NFL a lot of times can be a big drive killer. But once again, Minshew showing his ability to use his legs. Now this is 3rd and 6, and we get a delay of game penalty. I mean, this is unacceptable. We definitely got to clean up this stuff before we get to the regular season. More times than not, this is really going to bite you in the ass. On the very next play though, it goes from 36 to 3rd and 11 here, and the Vikings run man-to-man coverage. Gardner Minshew is able to recognize the pressure off the left-hand side. He's able to step up slightly, and then he's able to find Trey Tucker, who has a step on his man, and he's able to hit this throw outside the numbers with really good ball placement. And also, I mean, huge shout out to Trey Tucker for making this play. He has had some drop issues in camp. For some young guys, that could affect their confidence out there on the football field, but here he comes down with this catch, which wasn't an easy play to make. You love to see this from Trey Tucker, but once again, Gardner Minshew was able to get another big chunk play to move this offense down the field. Here on this rep, Gardner Minshew uses his legs to roll out, but I think if we look at this, I mean, he had a good clean pocket, and I think he prematurely bails out of the pocket right here. I would have liked for him to stay in there until the pocket breaks down, but this turns into a scramble drill, and he nearly gets his wide receiver killed on this rep. Not the best decision making overall in this rep right here. Here, out of the shotgun formation, the Vikings are going to get a free rusher. They're going to blitz, and Gardner Minshew does a good job recognizing this immediately, and he hits his hot route for a first down. Good stuff. Here, Minshew was able to hit running back Amir Abdullah out of the backfield. The Vikings bring pressure once again. They rush 6, and Minshew was able to recognize this and hits the open man right in stride. Once again on this rep, I feel like Gardner Minshew prematurely bails out of the pocket, and he gets himself into trouble, and he's just able to throw this out of bounds. But I feel like if we look back at this, if he's able to just step up in the pocket, not bail prematurely, he had Trey Tucker down the field with a clear step on his man, and he could have targeted him, and this could have been another potential touchdown for him. This was definitely a missed opportunity for him, and this is definitely an example where he can make big plays, but sometimes he may miss out on some of them. So overall, Raider Nation, the biggest taking point of this week's preseason matchup was we wanted to analyze the quarterbacks. We got a legit quarterback competition in my opinion. Now, to be fair on this critique, I mean, with Aiden O'Connell, I mean, it's hard to get a real evaluation on him due to him only being out there for one drive. I mean, it's hard for me to say if he played good, if he played bad. It's really difficult to judge somebody off of one drive. You know, both of these guys got limited sample sizes, but I feel like I got an overall senses of what type of offense, what type of play we can get from them. Aiden O'Connell only had one drive, but to be fair, they both had a full quarter. But with Gardner Minshew, I feel like he had more overall drives because he was able to move the ball down the field a little bit quicker. He's able to get bigger chunk plays. And we also got a turnover on defense from Jack Jones. So the defense was able to give us an extra possession there. Now, jumping to Aiden O'Connell on that first drive, to me, Aiden O'Connell, he looked sharp with his ball placement. There was one play that I like where he's able to step up into the pocket. And overall, he looked pretty sharp. I will say, though, compared to how I saw him yesterday to last season, I mean, he doesn't really look like he changed very much. And really, the only play that I noticed was on that third down inside the red zone. He was unable to recognize and avoid the pressure, which led to a red zone sack. Now, to be fair, I mean, Andres Peak got absolutely demolished on that rep. That is true. But at the same time, I feel like I saw Gardner Minshew as well. There were some reps where the offensive line also missed some blocks, and he was able to avoid the pressure. And to me, the biggest thing I saw is it didn't even seem like he was aware of it. Now, if he would have been aware of it and tried to evade it, that's one thing. And yeah, I feel like Gardner Minshew's offensive line wasn't great either, but I did see him being able to evade pressure using his legs. Now, Aiden O'Connell did play against first stringers, so you can maybe make the argument that he had stronger competition that he was facing. But at the same time, I mean, he was out there with the ones on our offense as well. He was throwing to Jacoby Myers. He was throwing to Brock Bowers. And Gardner Minshew wasn't. He was throwing to Trey Tucker. He was throwing to DJ Turner. He didn't have Michael Mayer out there. But both these guys had the same offensive line that they were playing under. So I don't necessarily know if I love the argument that people are making that Gardner Minshew only played better because he was playing against the twos. Like I said, he also wasn't playing with the guys like Jacoby Myers out there. And I feel like for both of these guys, the offensive line didn't necessarily look great for either of them. And to me, I mean, Gardner Minshew overall was more aggressive. He made more plays than Aiden O'Connell, but he also made more bad decisions compared to Aiden O'Connell. It's really hard to determine a starter right now, but we will just need to see at least one more game. Hopefully, Aiden O'Connell can play a little bit more in that Dallas game as well. Judging off of what Antonio Pierce has said in training camp, this is a very close quarterback battle. If I had to give an edge on who I thought played better in this first preseason, I'm going to have to give it to Gardner Minshew. Now, some people believe that Aiden O'Connell in training camp had a slight edge over Gardner Minshew. If that's the case, then I think it's very close. If it truly was an even matchup, I think Gardner Minshew has a slight edge at this point. But as I said, a very small sample size. We're going to have to see more in that Dallas game. And really the starting position is going to be on the line next Saturday. Now, just my overall takeaways with the different styles at quarterback between these two. I mean, Aiden O'Connell seems like the more traditional game manager type of quarterback. More times than not, he's going to make the right reads. He's going to get the ball to the players that it needs to get to. He's more consistent with his ball placement and accuracy. Compared to Gardner Minshew, he's more of a risk taker to me. He's more of a wild card. He's shown that he can make big plays down the field. He gives us the ability to use his legs to potentially evade pressure and get into certain scramble drills. But we also saw some missed throws where he's throwing it a little bit too high on simple drag routes. Sometimes he was bailing out of the pocket as well. So it's really going to depend on what offensive coordinator Luke Getsy is going to prefer with this offense. Do we want to be a more methodical offense, or are we going to be okay with taking risks? Now, obviously, there's pros and cons to both of those. I feel like with this offense, the ceiling is a little bit higher with Gardner Minshew, but the floor is definitely a lot safer with Aiden O'Connell. Now, another factor too to consider is how good is our offensive line going to be? I mean, obviously we saw Andres Peak got absolutely demolished on a couple different reps, but at the same time, and we don't, at least hopefully, we don't expect him to be out there on the football field. Hopefully Colton Miller can recover but there's no guarantee. What if Kolton Miller has to miss some time early in the season? And what if this offensive line just isn't as good as we expected? What if they're going to struggle like they did last year? In that certain situation, I would definitely prefer Gardner Minshew because he gives you that ability to escape pressure. Versus Aiden O'Connell, I feel like he can be a good quarterback, but it's really going to depend on the protection up front because I really don't see his ability to evade pressure using his legs. The only way it could really work is if we have a dominant run game, and then we can sort of build off of the play action with Aiden O'Connell. So it was definitely an interesting matchup yesterday. To me, Minshew has a slight edge thus far, but there's going to be a lot riding on Saturday against the Dallas Cowboys. But Raider Nation, I definitely want to get your guys' feedback. Who do you guys think is going to be the Week 1 starter? Who do you guys want to be the starter? Who do you guys think played better in this matchup? Let me know in that comment section down below. But with that being said, Raider Nation, that's all for you guys in today's video. Anybody that's new to the channel, you guys love Raider related content just like this, make sure to like, comment, subscribe to the channel. We're going to be making more videos like this, so make sure you stay tuned. But with that being said, Raider Nation, that's all I have for you guys in today's video. I will see you guys in the next one.